Hey everyone, it's Aaron. Today I'm going to be going over a LeetCode problem of turning a Roman integer or a Roman numeral into an integer. So let's hop into it. So today we're doing the number 13 Roman numeral to an integer. And each Roman numeral symbol has a value assigned to it. And we can read through this about how the Roman numerals are written, like, for example, largest to smallest from left to right. But there are certain caveats to it. Like I can be placed before V. So like the number 4 in Roman numerals is IV. For example, 9 is IX. And X can be placed before an L and C to make 40 and 90. Can be placed before D and M, or C can be placed before D and M to make 400, 900, and whatnot. So what we're going to need to do is be able to loop through a given Roman numeral and compare those numbers from left to right. Here's our example inputs and outputs that we're striving to get. So I've gone through and I've just created my map here just because I don't think you guys are really interested in seeing me type all that out. So let's go through the kind of whiteboarding understanding side of things here. Okay, so here's my understanding, or here's some things that I am going to need to do. First of all, I'm going to need to set a value to 0 because we're going to be returning our numbers back to that value at the end. Excuse me. I need to set a for loop for the length of the string that we're passing in. Then I need to compare the current the current string. Let's see here, we're not even comparing yet. What we need to do is go into our map and assign the string to the value, and then I need to compare if the value at position I, let's do this, value at string position I is less than or greater than the value in the next position over. And if it is, then I need to, let's see, let me look at this really quick. So if value in our next position is greater than the value of our current position, then I need to do I subtract 1, I believe, because with 5 I have to subtract 1 from 5, right? So yeah, for example, the numeral of 4 is not I, instead the number 4 is written as IV, because the 1 is before the 5, we subtract it, making it 4. The same principle applies to the number 9, and so on and so forth with the other instances. Okay, so if the value in our next position is greater than our value in our current position, then subtract 1, I believe. We'll come back to that. And if it's not, then return the value. Let's try that and see if it works. And then we need to be able to move. So yeah, move on to the next, which will be taken care of in our for loop. Once we return the value, and then once we get through the length of the string, and it's been added to our value, then we just need to return value. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some coding here. So I've already made a map. I need to let value equal to 0. Let's do num, because it's going to be a final number, actually. Okay, so I need to initiate my for loop. Let's get this in space. For I equals 0, and I is less than the length, sorry, s at length, and I plus plus. Okay. So coming back to our code here, I need to go in to our map and assign the string to the value. So if I come in here and I do create a constant of current is equal to our map so we're coming into our map looking for the string at position I, and getting our next value as well is equal to map s at I plus 1, and that will then put us into our if statement here. Next, okay, let me just make sure that I've got syntax I'm forgetting this here. Okay, so this is going to put us into our if statement here. Okay, if our current number is less than our next number, then I need to take number and subtract that from our current. Yeah, so if current number is less than the one next to it, we'll subtract that from our current number. current value is less than or greater than the value in the next position over value in our next position is greater than the value of our current, and subtract one. That doesn't sound right. Granted, this is pseudocode, so I'm probably wrong there. Let's try. Let's try it. Let's move on to the next here. If not, then return the value. Okay. Else, sorry, number plus our current number. And, oh, what did I do? Return, no. Okay, let me make sure. So we've set a value to 0. Check. Set a loop for the length of the string. Okay. We've gone into our map and assigned the string to the value at position I for our current number and our next number. We've done the same thing here. And if the current value I think I've solved it here. So the value of our current value is less than our next. Yep, then we're going to subtract 1. And if not, then we'll just return our current value. And once we've gone through the whole length of the string, everything will be saved here into our value, and we just need to return num at the end of our function. So let's go ahead and run it and see what I got wrong. Line 19. I is not defined. Let's see here. Constant. How is I not defined? Okay. So num equals 0 for let I equal to 0. I is greater than s dot length plus plus. Oh. Was it a semicolon? Constant map. Next. Okay, if it was that semicolon, I'm going to be irritated. Let's run it again. It was a semicolon. Okay. Okay, runtime is 29 milliseconds. Awesome. Cool. So now I'm going to save this into my VS Code, but I also want to try this in Python and see what that looks like. So give me a second. I'm going to pause this recording really quick. Okay, I'm back. Hi. I have gone in and just basically pasted in the dictionary. In this case, with Python, you need to use a dictionary, but also kind of my comments here from the last one. And so let's just go ahead and figure out, or just go through the pseudocode or the notes here, and yeah, let's write it out. So I'm going to, in this case, have a result variable equal to I and set that to 0. But instead of a for loop, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a while loop for the length of the string. And I'll get these X's out here really quick. And okay, so here in the while loop, so we're going to do while I is, let's see, let me look on my microphone here, less than the length, oh, these are in the wrong place, length of S. We are going to have some if-else statements. Kind of like what we've got down here. So if I is less than the length of S at the last position, and the dictionary position S, or at position I in our strings, is less than our dictionary, dictionary of S I plus 1 of our next. So that's kind of like in our JavaScript one where we had our current and our next values. Then we're going to get our result and add in our dictionary at position S I plus 1 and subtract. Let's see, let's come bring that out here. Dictionary of S position I, and then I plus equals to, add that in, and then else is taking the result and adding our dictionary of position S, or of our string of position I, sorry, and add in I plus equals to 1, break out of the while loop and return our result. Okay, let's see how that fares. Run it. Okay, cool, awesome. There you go. That is our Roman to integer problems for both JavaScript and Python. If you want to get in contact with me or talk about maybe a potential job at your company, go to AndrewMathis.com and go to the contact section of the page, and that will go straight to my email. And I will talk to you soon.